Hi, it's Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles. Welcome to my channel. This tutorial today is about how I created this necklace and earring set. It's more about the actual design than the showing every little detail, although I do try to show every detail. But I wanted to mainly show you how I go about designing and what choices I made. And this one's really cool because you have two sides. But anyway, so I hope you enjoy this video, and I'm working on the second one right now. So here you go. Hi, so I've gotten my components together. I found a chain that I liked, and I love this charm. It's got a heart with a cross, and on the back it says I believe. And so what I want to do is connect this to this chain. But I want to put some beaded elements on it, so I can't put it directly on the chain, and this hoop might fit but not real great. So what I'm going to do is a double jump ring. So I'm going to put the first jump ring on to the piece like this. And I'm just going to do like I always tell you. I take and I get them, and I just kind of go back, kind of trying to get it under there. Go back and forth till I feel them scratching against each other, which on these big ones is a little harder. But once you feel them scratching, you know that they're tight. Then I'm going to put the top one on. This is the one that'll actually go through, the chain will actually go through. Because the first one is so it'll hang straight. Because what'll happen is it balances it. See how this will go, the chain would have gone through here, but it would go front ways through here. It wouldn't hang right. The necklace would hang like this. So by putting another one on top, I now have a piece that I can put the chain through, and it will stay straight. Now let me show you. So I'll take the chain and put it through. Make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, and I always double check everything before I'm done to make sure everything looks okay. So I'm going to put the chain through the jump ring. There we go. There, unfortunately, most of the weight is behind me, so there. So see how that hangs now? Now you might think, well, why would you want all that? Well, that's because I want to hang some charms on here. So I made a few charms up in blacks and clears and gray. And I'll make a couple more just to show you what I do. And I basically take a head pin like this. Has a flat end like a straight pin, but with no point. It's just flat on the end. And I'll pick a couple beads, like here's a little drop. And then I love this very highly faceted, beautiful bead. Now that might be too big on top though, because one thing we got to keep in mind is when we hang it, we don't want it too fat. So that might work better. So I just take and I roll it. Now normally use a double roll tool, but this is a single roll tool. I don't even know where I got this, but I started out doing jewelry with a vintage one that my husband bought me at a garage sale. And I looked for years till I finally found this tool online. I don't know where. It was about 10 or 12 years ago, and I bought two of them. And I wish I knew where, because if these ever die on me, I have no way to replace them. So that's all I do, is I just roll that. I roll it, cut it, and tighten it. So we're going to hang some of these onto, okay, well, I don't know what happened with that. I thought I had it tight. Okay. We're going to hang some of these both on here and on here, just to give it a little volume. And we'll see how we like it. I love to add, I'm just going to open them up. I always like to hoop them first. I don't do as well if I loop them around the item. I do better. Now I might put a couple on this top jump ring. Boy, this is hard. They move around. So I want it to face this way. So the ring is going to go like that. So I might put one up here. And what I think I'll do is pick the biggest, fattest one to put up there. Because that way, you don't want to hang more than one or two because you don't want the chain to get caught up. You want to have plenty of room for the chain to slide through if you have to adjust it. So I'm going to put this one on. It's kind of a fat drop. It's really pretty, with just a tiny little pearl on top. Now this is what you'll find is they spin as you're trying to hook them. Alright, there we go. We got it on there. Now all I'm going to do is take my little chain nose pliers and I'm going to loop it back up and click it into place. You just want to make sure it's done nice and neat and hooks on tight. And see, that'll hang kind of down over the top. Now if you put enough of them, they cluster real pretty. And here's this one I just made. I'll put that one on here. And I'm just going to kind of fill it in until I'm happy with it. I just tighten it. And they'll float around. Sometimes they'll float in front, sometimes they'll float in back. You can do single beads. You can do 2 beads, you can do 3 beads. I traditionally do 2 beads on something like this. Just I think that looks the best, but a single bead is also fine. 3 can be too long. Here. There, and you're just going to tighten it back down. And there's no right or wrong, it's just personal taste. You might want one, you might just want it directly hung on the chain with no beads. But for me, more beads the better. I like lots of beads. So I'm going to put a lot of tassels on, or a lot of drops on here, and they can always come off if I don't like them. This is how it's looking so far. And these will flop around. Some will lay on top. Now, if you're wearing it and it's up against your body, then these will probably dangle more on top. Now, I might not like how that's sticking out pretty far. See? I don't like that. So that one will come back off. I don't like how big that is. It's too big. But you really can't tell till you put it on there. This one calls for a little bit shorter. That one does okay just because of where I hung it. But you want shorter ones, so we'll put this little one up there and see how that does. But that one was just too long. Okay, let's see. Let's see how that's looking. That looks better. And I don't care if they stick out a little bit. That's fine. I just wanted a few little pieces. Now, it might take away from the charm. But, I don't know. I kind of like it. But I'm thinking maybe the smaller ones would be better. That maybe if none of them hang over, if they're all really short, then that might be the way to go. Now, I don't ever get upset if I make a charm and it doesn't work, because I have a little bucket I keep these in, and I can always reuse them at on a different project. So I think for this project, the shorter charms are going to work better. Let's see if we have any short ones made up. I don't. Yes, I have one little tiny crystal one. So we'll put that one on there. And this one's just all glass and crystal. I think they're all crystal, actually. And I think the small ones will work better because they will not cover up the picture. See, they'll flop around a little bit, but they won't completely obliviate the picture. And I think that's better. So these are big, but what we can do is we can make a couple more. Now, some people like to use the looped ones and have a loop showing at the bottom of their bead. I don't tend to do that, really. I like to have I just like to have the bead show itself without any, you know, I don't like that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Now this is a beautiful bead. We could just do by itself even. See the texture on that? It's almost got a harlequin, I think that's what it's called, design. Maybe we can find a teeny tiny little black bead to put on top of that. See if this would work. That might still be too long. Let me get out the blacks we put together. So that's one thing I did, is I went through and I made all these boxes up. Let's see if we have a little bitty black, and I think I do. See, these are all the blacks I did. And I have some little bitties. Let's see, here's a little bitty bicone. And then we have a little bitty round one. Not round, but rounded. And then here's a little bit bigger rounded one. I have some actual round ones, but I don't know if I want to use that. I also have some teeny tiny little drops in here too. Look how little that is. Teeny teeny. And some of these little flat ones that are really pretty. So we'll try one of those. See how that works. So we'll take this and we'll try this little black, kind of rounder one. I think that looks nice. So again, I'm going to roll it around. And ow, I just poked myself in the finger. I think that's still just a little bit long. Okay. Now, I don't want these to be too long of a loop. Might have cut that one too short, but we'll see. We'll see. For an earring, that'd be perfect, but for this, might be too short. But let's look and see. I actually like the little round ones like that. Like I said, when I do earrings, that's what I shoot for. But let's try maybe putting this one. Let's see where we are. I think I'll put it on the above this crystal one. There. And then we'll go ahead and get the pliers and shut that up. Let's see how that looks. I just want like a little cluster of beads hanging down. I think that looks good. I like that. So now what we're going to do is figure out how long we want the necklace to be, and we're going to cut the excess off. And let me get my ruler and we'll measure out. I'm thinking an 18-inch chain maybe, so that'd be 9 inches on each side. Maybe a 20-inch chain would be better. So let's do 20 inches and we'll, let's see, start the chain here. And of course I'm measuring it to the tip here. And then I'm going to bring the other side up to right there, and we're just going to cut the chain off. I used to try to open the links and save them, but it just never, it's just more trouble than it's worth. Now we got to figure out, do we want a lobster claw? Do we want a pretty clasp? I think I'm going to do, this one's kind of fun. See this one? It is an old-fashioned barrel clasp, but it has a rhinestone top. That's why I like taking apart old jewelry, because you get some of the neatest pieces. I'm stepping on a pearl down here. So let's get some small jump rings and put that together. And where did I put my jump rings? Oh, here they are. I got my jump rings here in a nice box. I can't reuse, I mean, I've got a lot of jump rings I can reuse, but sometimes you need new stuff too. So we're going to get a couple little jump rings out. So when if you pretend to use what you've got, it's okay to use your new findings with it. So we'd put a jump ring. That one might be too small. Let's see. What did I do with the jump rings? Those are a little too small. We don't want them too small, but we want them too big either. I think these might be a good size right here. I have not created much lately, so this is kind of fun, and I'm kind of a little bit out of touch. So I put 1/2 of the one side of the hook on there for the fastener, and then again I'm going to tighten it down so it's really closed up, and then we take the other side and do the same thing and take that link off that I cut, and yeah, and then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to hook the other side to it. Oh, we got a little piece where I cut it off still on there. Look at that. We cut that little bitty, there's like a little bitty piece of jump ring on there that it, or loop or something, I cannot get off. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it off. Nope. Alright, well, we're going to leave that for now, and I'll take it off later. We're just going to finish what we're doing. I can get that off later. We're going to put this side on. I'm not going to waste your time when I can do that in a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, where we grab it from both sides and go back and forth. When we hear it crunching, we know that it's hooked, and that's what it looks like. Isn't that a beautiful piece? And so here is our necklace, all finished. And this was a real simple project, and I find this type of locket, this type of piece, all the time at yard sales. I've got 3 or 4 of them over there in different sizes and shapes. And this is one you can flip over, and just the beads will flip around to that side too, if you depending on which side you want to wear. I did it from this side initially, but since they're just loops, you can flip them around. So really easy project, just using what you've got. This is an old chain taken off of one of the necklaces that I had. These are all beads that I well, some of them were new beads that I had. I had some strings of new. A lot of these were off of jewelry as well. I know those were new. I think those are Hobby Lobby, and you can still buy them. A lot of these you can buy similar. But it's just a fun piece. And to make earrings to match it, what you can do is just pick one of the charms. And pick your favorite charm, and then just make a pair of earrings like it. Now, unfortunately, for me to do that, let me see if I can find the beads, because, let's see, I'm thinking to use the drops, because I like those black drops. Those are a little bit shorter than that one, though. I don't know if I have another one that big, but I think for the earrings it'd be okay to have a slightly shorter one. And then we can use, let's see, what did I put with that? A little pearl. I think for the earrings I'd want to do a slightly bigger pearl, only because I don't think that would show up on an earring. Let's see what we have in here from the jewelry I took apart. Oh, there's no pearl in here. Okay. I'll pick one up off the tray. Let's see. Are these too big? I think so. This one? That's better. Oh yeah, those will work. Look. Those will work. And so you're going to take a head pin. Now sometimes the thing will come through. If it does, just put a seed bead in there. So I always have, and sometimes I will do that even on the top of the bead, but on this one it looks fine. And I'm just going to loop it over like that. and cut it. And then I'm going to roll it. And I always try to tuck it in the top of the bead a little bit. Now, it can be crooked at first. Don't panic if it does that, because that's what your pliers are for. Then you get your pliers and you just kind of tweak it and turn it and make it look right. So you make 2 of those, and I'm just going to make 1 for now. Let me get an ear wire so I can show you how it comes together. I know I had an ear wire up here. Well, this isn't a pretty one, but we can use it. So let's take this ear wire, and again, this one has something on it too. I wouldn't normally reuse these, but I kept them for the tutorial. So you're going to take and open it, and then you're going to put your ear wire on it. Now I will change out the ear wire later. If you're making them for yourself, you can reuse ear wires. You just have to clean them good. This one does not appear worn, but I still wouldn't sell it. And there you go. And then there's your earring to go. Now you could do any of these. Like if you liked this one better, if you like this one better, you could do that very easily as an earring set. Any of these. I just chose this one. I don't know, that pearl doesn't go though, does it? Because I used a gray pearl. So I guess I kind of messed up there. So I guess I'd have to use the gray pearl, which I don't know where those are. Are they over here? Yeah, here they are. Here's the gray pearls. And so I would just change it out to the black with the gray pearl. Like this. And just do the same thing. I've got a shadow from, I guess it's from me. So I just do that and make the earring. That way that would match better. But I was just kind of showing you the point of it. And you can actually use pearl with that too. You wouldn't have to use the gray. So that would be the earring, and that would match really well. And just make 2 of them, and that would match that. You can make drop earrings. You can make chained earrings. Like if you like longer earrings, then you could actually take one of these, put a bead on it, and then when you make the next one, they hook together. So you'd hook each one together. In other words, you'd like hook the 2. You'd put 1 bead and then another bead. I've done some chain jewelry, and I'll do some more for you. But anyway, that's the first piece. I'm sorry if I'm a little rusty, but I'm exhausted because it took me 2 full days. 2 full days to get everything set up. But there's our finished piece. And you can add a beaded charm to this if you want as well. I'm not going to on this one because I put so much beads on here. And I don't think it needs more. But I really love that clasp and the beads on here. And I'll go ahead and list this on Etsy. If nothing else, you'll have 10 pictures you can look at and look at the details. It's fine, or I might even do a blog post on it. I haven't decided. It just took me so long to get this. Now, when you get these little pieces of chain that are left over when you've done a piece, this is a great bracelet chain. Because you can take this chain, because how big is it? Yes, that's 9 inches. Most bracelets are 7. So that makes a great bracelet blank. Just put a clasp on it and add your charms, and you're good to go. So this is the first piece. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing, I've got a couple other projects right here I'm going to be doing pretty quickly. And I'll show you the clasp. It's hard to show you the whole thing in one shot, but I can show you the, where's the clasp? The clasp along with the finished piece. Oh, there goes Maggie. Somebody's walking by. But I'll be back soon. I hope you enjoyed this. And just use what you've got. I mean, there's so many beautiful pieces. And if you've got old jewelry, you can take it apart and just use it to, and when you put it on, it'll fall into place. You can just use your own jewelry and take it apart and redo it. A lot of these come on cords too. I get a lot of these on cords. And I don't usually do much jewelry on cords, once in a while. So anyway, that's that piece, and I'm going to be on to the next one that I'll post in a day or two. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.